Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be talking about a great leader who fought for justice and equality. Yes, we are talking about the one and only Nelson Mandela. He was an anti-apartheid revolutionary, political leader, and philanthropist. He served as the first black president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He is considered one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century. So let's explore his incredible life in this episode. So, without any further delay, let's get started. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mvezo in South Africa. His birth name was Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela. He was born into the Thembu royal family and was the first of his family to attend university. Mandela grew up in a traditional African setting and was deeply influenced by his family and the customs of his people. From a young age, he displayed qualities of leadership, determination, and a strong sense of justice. Mandela attended a local school in his village and later went on to study at the University of Fort Hare in Alice, South Africa. After completing his undergraduate studies, he enrolled at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg to pursue a law degree. It was during his time at university that Mandela became involved in politics and the fight against racial segregation and discrimination in South Africa. Upon graduating with a bachelor's degree in law, Mandela returned to the Eastern Cape and established a legal practice in Johannesburg. He soon gained a reputation as a skilled lawyer and began to take on cases involving racial discrimination and injustice. Mandela's involvement in politics and his efforts to promote equality and justice led him to join the African National Congress, or ANC, in 1944. The ANC was an organization dedicated to the advancement of black South Africans and the dismantling of apartheid, which was the system of racial segregation and discrimination enforced in South Africa. In the early years of his involvement with the ANC, Mandela worked on various campaigns and protests against the apartheid regime. He participated in the Defiance Campaign in 1952, which aimed to defy unjust laws and regulations imposed on black South Africans. Mandela's commitment to the struggle against apartheid grew, and he played a key role in the ANC's shift towards a more militant approach. In 1960, the Sharpeville Massacre, which was the killing of 69 protesters by police, further galvanized the movement against apartheid. This event marked a turning point in the struggle and led to the government's declaration of a state of emergency. Mandela and other ANC leaders realized that peaceful protests were not enough to bring about change and began to explore more radical means of resistance. In response to the increasing violence and oppression by the apartheid regime, Mandela co-founded the Umkhonto we Sizwe, which was the armed wing of the ANC in 1961. This organization aimed to overthrow the government and establish a democratic and non-racial society in South Africa. However, Mandela's involvement in the armed struggle and his efforts to undermine the apartheid regime led to his arrest in 1962. He was charged with sabotage and other crimes and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. In 1964, Mandela and several other ANC leaders were tried in a high-profile case known as the Rivonia Trial. They were charged with treason and conspiracy to overthrow the government. Mandela delivered a 4-hour speech in his own defense, outlining the injustices of apartheid and the ANC's struggle for equality. The court found Mandela and his co-defendants guilty and sentenced them to life imprisonment. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a maximum security prison located off the coast of Cape Town. It was here that Mandela spent the majority of his 27-year imprisonment. Life on Robben Island was incredibly harsh. Mandela and the other prisoners were subjected to hard labor, isolation, and limited access to basic necessities. Despite the brutal conditions, Mandela's spirit and determination never wavered. He continued to be a symbol of resistance and hope for black South Africans and people around the world. During his imprisonment, the global campaign for Mandela's release grew. People from all walks of life demanded his freedom and called for an end to apartheid in South Africa. The international pressure on the South African government increased, and Mandela's status as a political prisoner was recognized worldwide. Finally, on February 11, 1990, after serving 27 years in prison, Mandela was released. His release was met with jubilation and celebration. Millions of people took to the streets to welcome him and other political prisoners who were also released. Mandela's first words upon his release were, "I am here to stay." Following his release from prison, Mandela played a pivotal role in negotiating the end of apartheid and the transition to a democratic South Africa. He worked tirelessly to bring together the government, the ANC, and other political parties to find peaceful solutions and reconcile the divided nation. Mandela's leadership and commitment to dialogue were instrumental in preventing further violence and bloodshed during this fragile period of change. One of Mandela's key contributions during this time was the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which aimed to uncover the atrocities committed during the apartheid era and promote forgiveness and reconciliation among South Africans. In 1993, Mandela and F.W. de Klerk, the last president of apartheid South Africa, were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their work in ending apartheid and promoting democracy and peace. The award recognized their efforts in dismantling one of the world's most hated systems of racial segregation and discrimination. The first multiracial elections in South Africa were held in 1994. Mandela's ANC emerged victorious, securing 62% of the vote. On May 10, 1994, Nelson Mandela was inaugurated as the first black president of South Africa. His inauguration was a historic moment, marking the end of apartheid and the dawn of a new era of democracy and equality. President Mandela's government focused on addressing the social and economic inequalities that had been deeply entrenched during the apartheid years. He implemented policies to promote equal access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities for all South Africans regardless of race. Mandela also played an active role in promoting peace and stability in neighboring countries. He mediated conflicts and advocated for democracy and human rights in places such as Angola, Mozambique, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Despite the challenges and setbacks, Mandela's legacy of peace and reconciliation remained a guiding light for South Africa and the world. He continued to be a respected elder statesman even after stepping down from office. After leaving the presidency in 1999, Mandela remained committed to public service and charitable work. He established the Nelson Mandela Foundation, which focuses on promoting peace, social justice, and human rights. Mandela also became a prominent voice in the fight against HIV/AIDS, a cause he championed throughout his later years. He used his platform and influence to raise awareness and mobilize resources to support those affected by the disease. One of Mandela's most notable contributions during this period was his work in establishing the For AIDS Awareness Campaign. This initiative aimed to reduce the stigma surrounding HIV/AIDS and encourage people to get tested and seek treatment. Throughout his life, Mandela was the recipient of numerous awards and honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Order of Lenin. He was truly an international icon and a symbol of hope for millions of people around the world. Mandela continued to travel extensively, meeting with world leaders and advocating for peace and equality. He remained active in various charitable endeavors and was a vocal advocate for human rights and social justice. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at his home in Johannesburg at the age of 75. His death was a profound loss not only for South Africa but for the entire world. Millions of people around the globe mourned the passing of this extraordinary leader. His funeral was a grand ceremony attended by world leaders, celebrities, and ordinary citizens who had been inspired by his life and work. The outpouring of grief and tributes from all corners of the world reflected the profound impact Mandela had made on humanity. As we conclude this episode on the life and legacy of Nelson Mandela, let us reflect on the enduring impact he had on our world. Mandela's life was a testament to the power of resilience, courage, and the pursuit of justice. His unwavering commitment to equality, peace, and reconciliation continues to inspire us all. Whether you're watching from South Africa or any corner of the globe, remember that Mandela's legacy transcends borders and generations. His life remains a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the face of adversity, one person can make a difference. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Nelson Mandela. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And if you have any thoughts, comments, or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep making a difference in your own unique ways. Thank you, and goodbye.